Ngozi woke up rich, and by sunset, the entire village wanted her destroyed. What happened in between will change how you see success. In a Busa market, there was a woman named Ngozi who sold palm oil. Her business was small, with just a few customers, but there were some loyal people who always came back. Suddenly, Ngozi's small corner became the busiest place in the market. The rush to buy her palm oil was massive. People came from far and wide to get some. Rich people sent their drivers with the instruction, "Get only Ngozi's oil." But trouble was coming. 3 other women sold palm oil in the market: Adaeze, Chinyere, and Obioma. They watched as their customers left them and went to Ngozi. Their income became small, and they could no longer assist their families as supposed. Then bad things started happening to them. Adaeze's son became sick with a fever. The boy was burning with heat, but no medicine helped. Chinyere woke up one morning to find all her oil had gone bad. It was black and smelled terrible. She lost everything. Obioma's husband lost his job at the factory. No money was coming into the house. The 3 women met secretly one night. These bad things started when Ngozi became successful, Adaeze said, her voice filled with fear. "My grandmother said some people use dark magic for business. Maybe Ngozi went to a witch doctor," Chinyere whispered. They began to talk, and other people overheard them. Soon everyone in the market was saying that Ngozi used dark magic. They claimed she had given something to the gods to make her business grow. They said the bad things happening to the other women were because of Ngozi's magic. Mothers grabbed their children when they saw Ngozi coming. People who used to buy from her stopped coming. Someone left a note at her store that read, "Your evil will catch you." Ngozi's life became very hard. Her children cried every day because other kids at school called them children of a witch. Her husband, who was a teacher, was laughed at by his colleagues. "Your wife does evil things. Are you sure she isn't using black magic on you too?" they said. Ngozi felt very alone. She was sad and tired. But then she thought of something nobody expected. She stood in the middle of the market and said loudly, "In 3 days, I will show everyone how I became rich quickly. If you are interested, come to the village square and see the magic involved." People were surprised. The village elder said they will come. The 3 women who were against her decided to go too. They thought, "Let us see what trick she will play." 3 days later, under the big tree where people solved their problems, Ngozi arrived with her mother and all her pots and tools. More than 200 people gathered to watch. She started by telling them that she would share her story and then show them the magic. But someone from the crowd shouted, "Please, there is no need for stories. Just tell us what kind of magic you got and where you got it from." But an elder immediately cut in shortly. "You didn't summon this gathering, so you have no right to interrupt her. Allow her to finish first. After that, you can ask questions if you have any." With that, everyone went quiet and paid attention. Ngozi began. "One evening, I got home from the market after a long day. I went straight to the kitchen to prepare dinner as usual. But I heard my mother calling the children for their evening story time. Usually, I'm always left out, but that day I decided to leave the kitchen door open so that I could also benefit. That day, for the first time in my life, I found out that my family used to have a family business. It was the greatest shock of my life, but I kept calm and waited until after the kids had gone to bed. Then I asked my mother why I was hearing this for the first time. But my mother, pointing at her mother who was standing beside her, she apologized for saying this now and explained how my grandmother and she worked very hard every day to make the best palm oil everyone loved. My late father used to ride his bicycle to supply other villages with palm oil. Everything began to crumble when my father fell ill and eventually died. My mother, who was pregnant with me at that time, had to manage the business alone because my grandmother fell ill from the shock of losing her son. After I was born, my mother couldn't continue because the oil production process was difficult, and she had to care for me and her sick mother. She couldn't meet the demands because she was the only one doing everything, so she stopped and ventured into vegetable business and then into garri business. She paused, looked around and noticed everyone was paying attention. Then she continued. I was curious to know how good this oil was, since according to her, it was the best. So I asked for the recipe and tried it out. The result was amazing. So you see all these tools and palm nuts before you. I'll use them to perform the black magic I used for my business. She immediately started and her mother joined in. For hours, people watched them work. Then she announced it was ready and began giving everyone a taste, starting with the elders. She stood in the midst of everyone and said, "Now, tell me, you've tasted the oil. Is it the same as the regular oil you get from the market?" There was an echo of no. She told them that everyone who tasted her oil kept coming back for more. That was how everything changed. There was no black magic. She continued. My mother even told me that people would come to me to ask where I got such good oil from. And for as many who came, I shouldn't hide the recipe or the process. But no one came. Instead, there were accusations about things I knew nothing about. You saw everything just now, from how I selected the palm fruits, how I heated them, and how I stirred slowly and waited. It took time. It needed patience. But there was no magic charm, no secret prayer to evil spirits. Just hard work and old knowledge. My great-great-grandmother discovered this, Ngozi said. My mother taught me. I want to share it with everyone. This is not evil. This is just pure wisdom, passed from mother to daughter. Before she finished, a woman from the crowd stepped forward and said, Ngozi, please, forgive me. It was Chinyere who told me you were responsible for making our oils go bad. Chinyere cut in sharply. No, it wasn't me. Adaeze started it. She said you were responsible for her son's illness. But Adaeze's husband spoke from the crowd. How can you blame someone for something caused by contamination? The doctor said her son's illness was caused by contamination from food, water or surfaces, and she knows the source of the contamination. Why then accuse her wrongly? Chinyere stepped forward and said, Please forgive me. I was carried away by jealousy. I focused on your growth and forgot to care for my own business. That's how my oil went bad. The three women knelt down before Ngozi and begged for her forgiveness. The crowd was very quiet. Then the oldest woman in the gathering stood up. You see what jealousy does? She said. We created our own problems. We blamed an innocent woman for the bad things we did to ourselves. She turned to Ngozi. You said you would teach people. Do you still want to teach? Ngozi looked at the three women. These women had made her life very painful. Her children had cried because of them. Her husband had been shamed. She had been very lonely and afraid because of them. Everyone waited to hear what she would say. Yes, Ngozi said softly. I will teach anyone who wants to learn, but I want something in return. Everyone held their breath. She said, Remember this day. Remember how quickly we believed bad things without asking questions. Remember how jealousy made us hurt each other. Let us not forget. Henceforth, every year on that same day, the market women gather under the big tree. The elders will tell the younger ones, including children present, this story. They tell them about the woman whose success almost destroyed her. They tell them about the day the village learned that the real evil was not witchcraft, but the bad thoughts they kept in their own hearts. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more interesting stories.